Hi everyone, this is Miu from Susan's family. Today I'll teach you how to make the Southern Clouds series Yuyao ethnic style jacket. This sweater is divided into the left front piece, right front piece, back piece, sleeves, joining together, edging, and decorations in these sections. Note that the left and right refer to the left and right when the clothing is worn. Let's start with the left front piece. It is divided into the hem, body, and bust section in 3 parts. We will start from foundation chain and crochet from right to left along the starting point. There will be color changes during the process. Several crochet stitches will be applicated, all of which are marked on the chart. I won't list them one by one here. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with casting on. Take out the corresponding yarn. The color of the sample swatch is random. For specific yarn, please refer to the product details page and paper instructions for color schemes and hook sizes. Begin by making a slip knot. Slightly tighten it. Then crochet chain stitches. Don't make the chains too tight. That's how you finish the beginning chain. Next, work the first row. Read the chart from right to left. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain for double crochet. This counts as 1 double crochet, corresponding to this chain stitch. In the chain stitch on the left side, pick up the top half loop, and work 1 double crochet, that is, the 5th stitch from the end. Continue picking up the top half loops. Work double crochets evenly into each stitch. After completing this row, we will take the side with the clearer texture as the right side of the entire piece. This is the side where the starting yarn tail is on the left-hand side. For the next row, you need to switch colors. Here, fasten off the yarn, secure it with a chain stitch, leave a 5 cm tail and cut the yarn. Tighten it. Neatly weave in the ends on the wrong side. You can weave in a few more stitches. Trim off the excess yarn tail. Then move on to the second row. Continue crocheting from right to left. At the turning chain of the previous row, on the topmost chain stitch, pick up these 2 strands to join the yarn. The sample swatch uses random colors. You can tie the yarn with a knot if needed. Draw the yarn through to make a loop. Make an adjustment. The yarn joining is complete. Follow this method for all subsequent yarn joins. Below, start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Match it with the foundation chain below. Work 1 double crochet increase on the left stitch. That means work 2 double crochets into the same stitch. The left stitch might look a bit puckered. Be sure not to pick the wrong position. You can weave in the yarn tails together. The double crochet increase is completed. Then, skip 2 stitches and work a DC3 in 1. That means work 3 double crochets into the same stitch. The DC3 in 1 is completed. Continue to skip 2 stitches and correspondingly work a DC3 in 1. Finish this row. Finally, skip 1 stitch. Work 1 double crochet on the last stitch. Break the yarn. Weave in the yarn tails. Everyone, please complete it. There won't be reminders after this. The second row is also done. Continue with the third row. Still join the yarn on the right side of the front at the standing chain. Make 3 beginning chains. Pick the gap on the left and crochet 3 double crochets. Continue picking these kinds of gaps. Crochet a group of double crochets like this. Finish this row. Crochet 2 double crochets in the last gap. Crochet 1 double crochet on the ending double crochet. Fasten off the yarn. The third row is completed. For the fourth row, continue joining the yarn and crocheting a group of double crochets like this. Pay attention, start the double crochet in the first gap. Crochet 1 double crochet on the ending stitch. For the fifth row, continue joining the yarn. Crochet double crochets evenly. Fasten off the yarn at the end. Everyone can now finish it. At this point, you can measure the height of the fabric and the width of the first row at the starting chain. Compare it with the dimensions given in the chart. If there's a big difference, you need to adjust your crochet tension and start over to avoid affecting the size. Continue with the sixth row. Start by joining the yarn. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Then start from the left stitch. Correspondingly crochet half double crochets all the way across. Complete this row. When crocheting, for convenience in weaving in the yarn tails, try to weave them in as you go. After finishing, fasten off the yarn. Row 6 is now complete. Next, crochet row 7. Join the yarn in the first half double crochet stitch of the previous row. Make 3 beginning chains. Crochet 3 double crochets in the same position. Skip 2 stitches and crochet 1 single crochet. Continue by skipping 2 more stitches. Crochet 3 double crochets in the same stitch. One chain stitch and 3 double crochets. We will consider the stitches worked in this stitch as one fan pattern. Continue by skipping 2 stitches and crocheting 1 single crochet. Then skip 2 stitches and crochet 1 fan pattern. Repeat this process, alternating between single crochets and fan patterns. Finish this row. After completing the last single crochet, skip 2 stitches. Crochet 3 double crochets in the same position. One chain stitch, 1 double crochet decrease. First, refer to the chart and work 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over, insert the hook into the same position below. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The first stitch is completed. Yarn over again. Insert into the ending stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops again. The second stitch is completed. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops. The double crochet decrease is now finished. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Break the yarn. Row 7 is completed. Move on to row 8. Join the yarn at the beginning chain of the previous row. First, make 1 chain as the starting chain for the single crochet. It doesn't count as 1 stitch. Work 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Chain 2. Then, work on the 7 stitches on the left side. Crochet 7 double crochets and decrease into 1 stitch. First, correspondingly make 7 incomplete double crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. The decrease of 7 double crochets into 1 stitch is done. The stitch on the upper right corresponds to its stitch count. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Work 1 single crochet in the middle hole of the fan shape on the left. Chain 2. Continue picking up the stitches between the holes. Crochet 1 DC7 tog. Chain 3. Let's take a look. In this row, work single crochets in the chain spaces. Correspondingly make 7 double crochets decreasing into 1 stitch, and chain 3 on the left side. Chain 2 on the right side. Repeat this process to complete the row. After finishing with the last 3 chains, work 2 single crochets in the holes and the ending stitch positions. Correspondingly make 2 single crochets. Cut the yarn. Row 8 is now complete. Continue with row 9. Join the yarn at the starting stitch of the previous row. Chain 1 to begin. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. Then, on the chain from the left side of the 7 double crochets decreased into 1 stitch. Pick up the braid and work a fan pattern. This will be in the space created by that decrease. After completing it, work 1 single crochet in the left side single crochet stitch. Work another fan pattern on the next chain, from the left side of the DC7 tog. Alternate crocheting single crochets and fan patterns using this method. Finish this row. After completing the last 2 single crochets, row 9 is complete. Fasten off the yarn. Move on to row 10. Join the yarn at the starting stitch. Start with 3 chain stitches. Work 1 DC3 tog on the left side. Begin with 3 incomplete double crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops. The DC3 tog is now complete. Crochet 2 chain stitches next. Work 1 single crochet into the hole of the fan shape on the left side. Chain 2. Continue to finish this row following the same pattern as row 8. After completing the final single crochet, crochet 3 chain stitches. Work 1 DC5 tog. Start by working 5 incomplete double crochets correspondingly. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops. Complete the DC5 tog. Break the yarn. Row 10 is now complete. Start working on row 11 next. Join the yarn at the beginning of the decrease stitch. Note: do not use a standing stitch. Chain 2 to start. This counts as 1/2 double crochet. Work 1/2 double crochet into the chain space on the left side. Work 1/2 double crochet on the single crochet stitch. Work 1/2 double crochet into the next chain 2 space. In this decrease stitch, work 1/2 double crochet. Note, it's the braid on the top, right? Next, in the chain 3 space, work 3 half double crochets. Continue repeating this process. Work 1/2 double crochet in each stitch and chain 2 spaces, respectively. Work 1/2 double crochet. Work 3 half double crochets into the chain 3 space. Finish this row. After completing, you can check the stitch count. Then, cut the yarn. Row 11 is now completed. For the next 2 rows, continue joining the yarn from right to left. Work a double crochet into each stitch in sequence. Cut the yarn at the end. Everyone, refer to the chart to complete it. This concludes the explanation of the hem section. Now let's move on to the body. Work back and forth starting from the hem. The new stitches used here are the DC2 bobble stitch and the front post double crochet. Please watch as I demonstrate the exact crocheting method. Start with row 1. Continue working on the right side for this row. Join the yarn at the beginning chain. Make 3 beginning chains. Pick up stitches to the left and correspondingly make 3 double crochets. After completing, skip 1 stitch. Make 1 DC2 bobble stitch. Start with 2 incomplete double crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops. The DC2 bobble stitch is now complete. We'll refer to this as the bobble stitch from now on. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Work 2 more bobble stitches in the same insertion point. Use 3 chains as a transition between them. After completing, consider all stitches worked into this stitch as one unit. This will be seen as one bobble stitch pattern. Skip 2 stitches. Correspondingly make 5 double crochets. Continue by skipping 2 stitches and working 1 bobble stitch pattern. That is, work 3 bobble stitches in the same stitch. Use 3 chains as a transition between them. After completion, continue with 5 double crochets separated by 2 skipped stitches. Proceed by alternating bobble stitch patterns and double crochets. Pay attention to the skipped stitches on both sides of the bobble stitch pattern, and refer to the chart. Make sure not to crochet incorrectly. After finishing with the last 3 double crochets, the first row is now completed. Note that there's no need to break the yarn here. Continue with the second row. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Turn the fabric piece. Work a double crochet corresponding to the edge stitch under the turning chain. Make 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Remember that on the wrong side, the stitch will be located at the upper left. Avoid crocheting into the stitch directly under the turning chain. Then comes the symbol for front post double crochet, since the chart shows the texture of the right side of the fabric. When working on the wrong side, you need to crochet a back post double crochet instead of the front post double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook from right to left behind this stitch. Draw the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this step once more. The back post double crochet is completed. It should be about the same height as the stitch on the right. You can turn it over and take a look. The texture will be raised on the right side. Then work 3 chain stitches. Work 1 single crochet into the middle stitch of the bobble stitch pattern from the row below. Three chain stitches. On the double crochet, start with 1 back post double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook from right to left behind this double crochet stitch. Draw the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 2 times. The back post double crochet is completed. Then pick up stitches correspondingly and work 3 double crochets. Pay attention to skip the stitch where the back post double crochet was worked. After completing, work 1 more back post double crochet. This row looks like this. Work single crochets and chain stitches on the bobble stitch pattern. Work this stitch technique on the double crochet. Continue to finish this row. After completing the last double crochet, on the ending stitch and the turning chain, work 1 double crochet decrease. The second row is now complete. Next, work the third row. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Turn your work. Work 1 double crochet on the left stitch. Work 1 front post double crochet on the next stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook from right to left underneath the previous chain in front. Work 1 double crochet. The front post double crochet is now complete. Continue by working 1 bobble stitch on the left single crochet stitch. On the left front post double crochet, work 1 front post double crochet, yarn over. Insert your hook from right to left in front and pick up the chain below. Work 1 double crochet. The front post double crochet is now complete. Continue by crocheting 3 double crochets. Work 1 front post double crochet. Repeat this process. Refer to the chart and finish this row. Row 3 is now complete. For the rows on the back of the body, follow the crochet method from rows 2-3, working back and forth without increasing or decreasing. No decreases are needed on either side. Crochet the double crochets and chains in their respective positions to match up vertically. This creates a continuous texture on the right side. Everyone, refer to the chart to complete it. That concludes the explanation of crocheting the body section. Next, we'll learn about the chest piece. Continue crocheting back and forth for the body. Decrease stitches on the neckline side. Change the stitch pattern at the end to form the sloping shoulder. Many new stitch techniques are used. They're all marked on the diagram, so I won't list them all here. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. The first row of the chest piece is crocheted on the wrong side. Start with 2 chain stitches to rise. The following crochet technique is identical to the previous one. Everyone, refer to the chart to complete it. Below, I'll demonstrate the second row using a sample swatch. Begin crocheting while referring to the chart. After completing the last front post double crochet stitch, there's a cluster pattern next. Pay attention, here we unify the more complex cluster stitch techniques as cluster patterns. Just follow the stitch pattern sequence in the chart when crocheting. Here, first work 2 bobble stitches into the single crochet, with a chain of 3 stitches as a transition. After completion, make 3 chain stitches. Next is the cluster of bobble, FPDC and treble crochet. First, work 2 incomplete double crochets into the same stitch. Then, work 1 incomplete front post double crochet on the left side post. Yarn over. Insert your hook. Work 1 incomplete double crochet. The incomplete front post double crochet is done. Then work 1 incomplete treble crochet on the last stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert your hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this step 2 times. The incomplete treble crochet is done. After completing the corresponding incomplete stitches, yarn over and draw through in once. That completes one cluster pattern. Row 2 is complete. For the following rows 3 to 5, continue working back and forth while referring to the pattern. Pay attention to the stitch techniques on the left edge as you follow the chart. On row 6, you'll encounter a combination of front post double crochet and treble crochet at the end. Here, I'll demonstrate the technique with a sample swatch. First, pick up the chain below, and work 1 incomplete front post double crochet. Then, work 1 incomplete treble crochet on the left side of the double crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. The cluster of front post double crochet and treble crochet is now complete. Continue working back and forth for the following rows. On row 9, you'll encounter a cluster of double crochet and front post double crochet. Here, I'll demonstrate the technique with a sample swatch. Start by working an incomplete double crochet. After completing it, take a look. This part is crocheted on the wrong side. For the front post stitch, you need to work the corresponding back post stitch. Insert the hook in a back post stitch manner here. Work 1 incomplete double crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. This cluster is now done. Later, if you encounter a similar cluster on the wrong side, make sure to pay attention and don't work it incorrectly. When crocheting the double crochet at the end of row 12, remember to locate the position of the beginning chain. Find the third chain stitch from bottom to top. Pick up the 2 corresponding threads and work them. For any similar situations later on, make sure to correctly identify the beginning chain. You can also work into the chain spaces if you prefer. As long as the edge texture looks neat and attractive, that's fine. At the end of row 14, you'll encounter another cluster pattern. Here, I'll continue demonstrating the technique with the sample swatch. First, work 1 bobble stitch into the corresponding stitch. Chain 3. Work 1 incomplete bobble stitch. Then, work 1 incomplete treble crochet into the stitch on the left. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. That completes the cluster pattern. Continue to refer to the chart, and finish row 17. Next, I'll demonstrate row 18 with the sample swatch. Slightly enlarge the loop. Turn your work. Start by picking up stitches and working 3 slip stitches correspondingly. The oval-shaped slip stitch does not need to be tightened. Then, chain 2. Work 1 slip stitch into the hole on the left. Work 1 single crochet into the stitch. Work 2 single crochets into the next space. Make 1 half double crochet. On the chain from the left side, work 1 front post half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook from the front and pick up the chain. Work 1 half double crochet. The front post half double crochet is completed. Continue to refer to the chart and finish this row. Row 18 is completed. Continue with row 19. Start crocheting correspondingly. Finish the last 2 double crochets. Work 1 half double crochet. Below is the symbol for the front post half double crochet. Crochet a back post half double crochet on the wrong side. Yarn over, insert the hook from the back and pick up the chain. Work 1 half double crochet. The back post half double crochet is completed. Continue with 1 single crochet in the stitch on the left. Slip stitch into the chain space. Row 19 is completed. Start the last row by carrying the yarn. Stretch the loop. Thread the yarn ball through the loop. Tighten. Turn the work. Locate the starting position of the last row. Draw the yarn through. Mindful to keep the carried yarn close to the fabric. Then make one chain as your beginning chain. Refer to the pattern and complete this row. The last row is completed. Now fasten off the yarn. Crochet one chain stitch to secure. Leave a 5 cm tail, then cut. Hide it on the wrong side. This concludes the explanation of the front piece section. Up to this point, the explanation of the left front piece is also complete. Next, let's learn about the right front piece. It is similarly divided into the hem, body, and front piece. The crochet technique is roughly symmetrical to the left front piece. For the hem, we will start from foundation chain, crocheting from right to left. During the process, you will need to switch colors. At the end of row 6, you'll encounter a new stitch technique. Half double crochet decrease. For the specific crochet technique, you can refer to the demonstration in the video below. Half double crochet decrease. Yarn over, insert into the left stitch. Yarn over again, pull the yarn through. This is one incomplete half double crochet. Slightly raise the loop. Then move on to the second one. Yarn over, insert into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over, pull the yarn through. This is the second incomplete half double crochet. Each loop needs to be pulled a bit higher. Now there are 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over, draw through all 5 loops on the hook at once. One half double crochet decrease is complete. This is the crocheting method for a half double crochet decrease. Continue crocheting back and forth on the back of the hem. Refer to the chart for the beginning and ending insertion positions. After completion, work back and forth on the body section. Decrease stitches on the chest piece side near the neckline. The decrease position may involve other cluster patterns. Crochet the corresponding incomplete stitches according to the stitch order. Stitch them together. Everyone can refer to the previous demonstration. Follow the chart to complete it. Finally, fasten off the yarn. That concludes the explanation of the right front piece. Next, let's learn about the back piece. It is divided into the hem and the body. The crochet technique corresponds to similar positions on the front piece. Starting from the third to last row of the body, change the beginning and ending stitch techniques to form the sloping shoulder. The middle position involves single crochets and chain stitch positions. Correspondingly make double crochets. Do not crochet the bobble stitch pattern. Everyone, please pay attention and avoid making mistakes. For the last 2 rows, crochet separately for the left and right shoulders. First, join the yarn at the end of the third to last row. Carry the yarn across. Crochet the left shoulder part first. After completion, fasten off the yarn. Then join the yarn to crochet the right shoulder part. Refer to the chart and join the yarn at the corresponding position on the wrong side. The method is the same as the previous yarn joining technique. Then work back and forth. At the end, you will encounter one cluster pattern. Simply crochet the corresponding incomplete stitches together. Finally, break the yarn again. Everyone can now complete it. That concludes the explanation for the back piece.